We're talking about an Omega level, God tiered motherfucker called Jean Grey. She is one of the most powerful mutants in the comics, period. She's not just the eye candy or the love interest or the third wheel between Logan and Scott's fucking bromance. That's not who she is. She literally is almost a god. She has so much raw, limitless psychic power that she has to actively suppress her own mind just to have a normal conversation with you.
Right.
You're out the movies and you know, you go, do you want popcorn? Just for her to say fucking yes or no, dude, she's holding back like a mental tsunami. She doesn't just read your mind. Her mutation is based around empathy, okay? So, you know, we're living in this world of, you know, take your feelings into account. You know, you're feeling okay today, Adrian. Her powers are rooted in that. She doesn't just read your mind. She feels everything you feel. She can connect to every single living mind on the planet at the same time. So this whole empathy, it also becomes a crushing, almost inescapable, suffocating nightmare because that shit's always there. Like, think about when you go through a busy mall. Nowadays, the malls aren't busy. They're all closing. But you've been out to the mall when everyone else has been out to the mall.
Sure.
And you hear everyone's conversation, but it just sounds like loud chatter, right?
Right.
Imagine that going on in your head times a million all day, every day. Oh, you'd be bashing your head into that fucking microphone right now. That's what she's got going on. She's using her own power to keep all of that shit at bay all the fucking time as well.
Right.
So let's talk about how she discovered her powers. Most mutants, you mentioned, we talked about this earlier, it's usually some traumatic event. It's usually during puberty, right? You're getting hair on your balls and all of a sudden you can fucking move rocks with your mind. I mean, it's just how it works, right? You need deodorant and you can fucking blast fire out of your hands. That didn't happen to her. Jean got her powers in a horrific fucking way. So she's 10 years old. She's playing in the street with her best friend, Annie Richardson. And boom, car hits Annie. Jean is standing there. Her friend's dying. That trauma shatters that dormant X gene, forces it to awaken. Because her powers, her telepathy is based in empathy, she didn't just watch her friend die. She actually felt her friend die. She experienced the sensation of dying because she was there, powers unlocked, and she can feel everything that her friend's feeling. Her mind slipping into this blank void of nothingness alongside her friend. It fucking broke her, dude. It literally put her into a catatonic state. So she's fucked up beyond recognition after this. So what happens? Who shows up, Adrian? Here he is. The blanket wearing, fucking bald head, wheelchair riding, Charles Chucky Boy, shirt cocker himself, Xavier. Jean was the first mutant that he ever tracked down. Her parents bring this girl to the mansion, and Xavier looks at her brain. He realizes her potential, but then also understands that this is way too powerful for a child's mind to handle. He made that decision. So what does he do? He offers the parents, if both of you reach under this blanket at the same time, then I'll bring your daughter. He didn't do that. What he did offer was, I'm going to perform telepathic surgery.
Lobotomy, basically.
Yes, but with my mind. And he put in these psychic barricades inside of her head, these mental blocks, completely breaks up her telepathy and leaves her only with telekinesis. We're going to get into her power set in a minute, but she is a telepath and she is telekinesis.
Right.
He put these blocks and literally suppresses the telepathy power. And now she can manage her life without hearing the entire world scream, essentially. So she ended up joining the X-Men under the name Marvel Girl. And originally she could only lift things with her mind.
Yeah, sounds like a receptionist, Marvel Girl.
You know how they did back in the day,
yeah.
dude. But when she became a teenager, so literally a few years later, 3-4 years later, Xavier started to slowly remove those bricks out of that mental wall.
Got it.
So she got more powerful as she got older. She is an Omega level mutant in 2 separate categories.
Right.
First, the telepathy. She flat out surpasses Xavier's mind. Her level of telepathy is more powerful than Charles Xavier. She can read, rewrite, or completely dismantle your brain functions with a literal thought. You don't want to fuck with her. Second, Omega level telekinesis. Bro, she's not just like knocking your cup over or fucking blowing that paper off the table. She can manipulate matter on a subatomic level. She can lift thousands of tons, create impenetrable force fields, and literally rip her enemies apart molecule by molecule if she wanted to. We saw this in some of these X-Men movies. Remember X-Men 3 when the shitty ass Phoenix story?
Right.
But when she literally turns Xavier into a bunch of fucking particles? I mean, that is true to her power set. That's her telekinesis. Can get to that level and just shred every fucking molecule. There aren't many people in the comics that an unblocked Jean Grey is gonna lose to.
Right.
She's a savage, dude. On top, and this is before Phoenix. A lot of people think Jean Grey and Phoenix are hand in hand. No, those are two separate entities.
Right.
When they're put together, dude, it's like peanut butter and jelly, Adrian.
That's it. I mean, what attracted the Phoenix Force to Jean was her powers and ability.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't just, random or happenstance.
Correct.
Right? She was attracted to that shit.
Yeah. I mean, she was calling out for help and the Phoenix fucking picked up. And you're like, well, maybe it's because she was calling out for help. You think she's the only person who's ever called out for help?
Right.
Phoenix is like, fuck all those people. Oh, Jean's calling? Go get that bitch.
Right. I mean, billions of people every day call out for help.
Yes.
They don't get it.
Right. Nope. All right. The space shuttle sacrifice, Adrian. We talk about Phoenix. You can't talk about Phoenix without talking about the space shuttle. So her connection to Phoenix started here. The X-Men, they're on this space shuttle. And there's so many different versions. There's the comic version. There's the animated series version. There's the shitty 2 versions in the movies.
But there's a shuttle.
Yeah, there's a shuttle. Yeah, and most of them, there's a shuttle. So this cockpit has 0 radiation shielding, and they're in this space shuttle falling out of orbit. They're flying through this massive solar flare, and the flare is going to instantly incinerate anybody who's piloting this ship. So Jean uses her telepathic abilities. She sucks all of the pilot's knowledge, no diddy, out of the scientist's brain. She locks Cyclops and the rest of the team in the heavy shielded back of the shuttle. As she's piloting this thing, the solar radiation starts burning her skin, literally cooking Jean alive. She cries for help psychically across the entire fucking universe. Who answers the call? It ain't Batman. It ain't the fucking Ghostbusters. None of those motherfuckers. Who answers the call is the Phoenix Force. Phoenix is an immortal cosmic god that represents all life and passion in the universe. It's one of the most powerful fucking entities in the comics. Not only did it respect Jean's power, it becomes obsessed with Jean. With Jean's capacity for love, sacrifice. Because think about this act, what she's doing here. Dude, they're going through these solar flares. She knows that anyone in this cockpit's gonna be incinerated. She locks the X-Men in the back. She sticks herself in the cockpit, literally sacrificing herself for the team.
Right.
And as she's starting to be deteriorated by this solar energy, her psychic cries are answered by the Phoenix Force. So the Phoenix recognizes all that. Now the Phoenix wants to save her. But it also wants to, Adrian, kind of like Emma Frost and Iceman, it wants to experience being Jean as well.
Sure.
Phoenix is like, this is a badass bitch. I want to save her and I want to be her, you know? So they strike a deal, Adrian. The Phoenix creates an identical clone of Jean's body, sucks out a portion of her consciousness so it can actually act like her, and places the real dying Jean that was burnt to a crisp in a healing stasis cocoon at the bottom of the Jamaica Bay. The Phoenix Force cloned Jean. Jean's been cloned fucking more times than that sheep back in the day. Holy shit. Because Jean now has this power, dude, she's getting some attention from a club that we've talked about here before, the Hellfire Club. They start fucking with her head. They unlock these dark, repressed desires and turn her into the Black Queen, which eventually triggers Dark Phoenix. So as much as Phoenix is this crazy powerful entity, there's a dark side to this Phoenix, just like there is everyone else, you know? We've got our dark sides, Adrian. So she goes on this cosmic bender. She eats a star and commits genocide. So, I mean, think about this shit, dude. She needs to power up. And she literally taps into this star and causes it to go supernova and wipes out 5 billion aliens. A whole damn universe. That's some shit.
Right.
And then from there, she commits suicide on the moon to save the universe. Scott is devastated. He quits the team. Everyone's in mourning. He ends up meeting Madeline Pryor. We talked about that. You know, this civilian pilot who looks exactly like Jean. I got it. Scott, seriously? You didn't think anything was up when she looked exactly like your wife that just died? You just thought that was a coincidence? That this pilot happened to be an identical fucking clone of your wife that just died?
He was in mourning. He didn't give a fuck.
Okay. The Avengers happened to be sniffing around Jamaica Bay because they were, Adrian, nearby,
Yes.
right? They find this glowing pod at the bottom of the ocean. They bring it to Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four. Why did he bring it there? Because they also were nearby.
Right.
And they pop it open, and guess who steps out? The real Jean Grey. Reincarnated, baby. She's back. So the Phoenix clone that then killed herself on the moon, again, was not actually Jean. So she wakes up, and the Fantastic Four, they got to sit her down and like, yo, while you were taking a nap, this fucking Firebird stole your face and went insane, murdered 5 billion aliens, blew itself on the moon. Your boyfriend married your clone and had a kid with her. Everybody moved on while you were sleeping in the fucking water, bitch. And what does this do to Jean? Fucking traumatizes her again. Right. Poor Jean, Adrian. She's traumatized at 10. Then she fucking dies trying to save everyone. And then she wakes up to hear what somebody did with her face. And everyone thought it was her.
Right.
God, can't catch a break.
And then the man that you're supposed to be in love with often diddle somebody else and shit. Not only that, we got a kid with
Had a
her.
whole kid.
Right.
Holy shit. So she's traumatized, Adrian. She's dealing with some guilt of the genocide, even though she didn't commit it, but she feels associated because it was done with her face and her name, right? And then Scott, dude, this is where he ruined his reputation for a lot of comic readers for a very long time. He gets a phone call from Jean. And he doesn't handle it well. He packs his bags. He walks out on his wife, Madeline, abandons his newborn infant son, Nathan, in Alaska, and rushes back to New York to get to his OG girlfriend, Adrian. Damn. He's like, fuck this new family. I'm going back to the OG. This massive betrayal drives Madeline insane now. So another crazy Jean Grey, right? Pushes her. We talked about this, makes the deal with the demons, and then she turns into the Goblin Queen. Oh my God. She tries to fucking bring hell here to her. I mean, she just goes batshit crazy. Fuck, demonic invasions, broken marriages, mutant civil wars. All of these have happened because Jean Grey woke up from a fucking nap at the bottom of the ocean. She is someone who, I said this about Rogue last week, is an absolute X-Men powerhouse.
Oh, yeah.
This Jean Grey is a god-tier savage of a fucking character. Omega level 2 different ways before the Phoenix.
Right.
And the fact that the Phoenix, one of the most powerful entities in the entire universe, looks at Jean as the perfect host. So does Cyclops. So does fucking Wolverine.
Right.
Phenomenal. Amazing character. And they did an okay-ish job, but they did not give my girl justice in the fucking X-Men movies.